Hello, everyone, and welcome to Epic Talk. My name is Timothy Phelps, and I'm sure y'all have noticed that I've changed some things up with the show. We're going to get real with our talks, and at times we're going to start getting vulnerable, and mostly we're just going to talk and we're going to have a good time. I want to take a moment to thank everybody who is tuning in, whether on Facebook, whether on YouTube, Clubhouse, or Star Maker. This has been, I appreciate everyone coming on and just the support. You know, this week I started thinking about how life is like building a house. You know, you need that strong foundation, and that is our mindset. And of course, with the majority of homes, you'll find different corners. And today I will be joined by a special guest, Martin Whetton, all the way from the UK, as we step into the positivity corner. And we have something a little bit different, a special treat for you whenever he comes on. But first,
if you're driven with ambition, ready to elevate yourself, then Timothy Phelps can help. It's not comfortable being uncomfortable to see life clearer. You can't drive into the future looking through that rearview mirror.
That's actually pretty important, Timothy, that you said something about, because I know as they monitor.
Oh my God, this feeling's got me going. Saying things I've never said, doing things I've never done. Oh my God, but I see you like you right. But I'm frozen in emotion, and it tells me stop feeling, I feel about myself. Try to fight it, but it's giving me more. All I decided is not that I rush, 'cause I'm frozen in emotion, and it tells me stop.
Hello. Hang on.
excellent, Martin, excellent. So, welcome, Martin, to the stage. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well, very well. So,
Good.
just kind of let everybody know, this is Martin Whetton, and Martin and I are both on a platform which has some virtual rooms in which we participate in quite a bit, whether it be as singing or whether it just be taking seats and having some great conversations. And we've got a good group of people on there that we follow and follow us, and we're joined together as a family. And this past week, we were able to have a little bit deeper conversations. And with that being said, in the midst of it, Martin, we had a conversation in which kind of sparked a little story that Martin said that we should tell. And I wanted to take it just a step further and kind of bring him live on here with me. And he agreed to do so. So I'm very thankful for that. Martin, thank you so much and welcome to the stage. Do you care to tell us a little bit about yourself to begin?
So I'm 41 from the UK, England. I've been DJing 26 years. Music's my life. Obviously, doing a platform where Tim is actually in, as well as other people. I met my girlfriend on that platform and love her to bits. I'm a forklift driver by day, DJ Friday, Saturdays in nightclubs, pubs, do weddings, all varieties of occasions. So yeah, a lot of different aspects in my life. So yeah.
Excellent. So I'm sure that most people are wondering, okay, so what does the DJing kind of have to do with the story? So as most of y'all know, I publicly speak a lot now, and this used to be a inferior of mine, and man, it scared me to death to speak in front of people, especially being on so many different platforms like this. It was something that just terrified me. So, you know, still yet though, I guess it still makes me uncomfortable, and I like to try to get pumped up before I go on, but you know, I get nervous, and a lot of times I'll speak and I don't know if it really has the impact that it needs because I know that I need to calm my nerves. So this past Friday, I was going to be talking a little bit on Clubhouse, which is a new platform that we're actually live on as well here today. And a lot of times when I speak on there, I know that the nerves get the best of me. And I would gain like maybe 1-2 followers every time I spoke. And it didn't seem like the impact was really there that I wanted to be able to offer. You know, I didn't feel like I was really getting my words across because of those nerves. So this past week, whenever I knew I was going to be speaking on there, I decided to do something a little bit different. And I got on another platform, StarMaker, that we are on together. And Martin was live on there, and he was doing some DJing, just kind of having fun with it and everything. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to listen to the music. I'm going to get pumped up. And I was dancing around my office, and I was having a great time, and did that for about 10 to 15 minutes, and had asked Martin. I said, Martin, well, I actually told his girlfriend because she was the one taking requests. And I said, so I said, you know, have Martin play some good pump up music, something to pump me up and get me motivated because I'm about ready to have a talk. And man, did he deliver. I was dancing around my office, like I said, for about 10 to 15 minutes before I was going to go live and just enjoying the talent. And then I went live. Now, Martin, do you remember what I told you later about how many new followers I got just during that one talk?
You made 16 new followers.
That's right, 16. And now that might seem like a small number, but considering that I talked on stages on there that had, man, so many people in the rooms and would get 1 or 2. And then this was a small room, didn't have that many people in it at all. And I got 16 new followers. And that was just absolutely amazing. And afterwards, you know, after it was all said and done, I went back into a room where Martin was at. And we had a great conversation. We was talking about some other things, digging a little deep. And Martin, do you remember what you said that kind of sparked the motivation to have this talk today?
So what happened was we was discussing things about life, and you know, Tim was sort of like going on about you know, he does this, that, and the other. My girlfriend was on about, you know, she's a nurse for the NHS, So she helps saves lives and things like that. And there's other people on there that were saying this, that, and the other. And I says, well, I don't really, all these people have got things that they contribute, yet I don't feel like have anything to contribute. And Tim was basically, whoa, hang on, stop. Just stop.
Exactly.
And it was, what? And he says, back up. He says, right. And obviously Tim was said, about his influence of my music going into his platforms and having to speak. So he turned around to me and he said, you actually influenced me by you playing your music to pump me up, to influence other people into getting 16 new followers on my platform. So I sort of stopped and I thought about it, and I didn't realize on how much of an impact music has on people's lives. So it's it was a very big shock to me that Tim actually felt really comfortable and confident that I actually made an impact on his life, so he could make an impact on someone else's life, within people,
Exactly. Now, I don't know if you can see on the screen there, and I know everybody else can't, that's on the different platforms, but Tammy says he helps more people than he knows with his music. And that is absolutely true.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
That's one thing. It's not even about about gaining the following, the extra following. There is the fact that I knew, because of gaining the extra followers way more than normal, that I made more of an impact than I normally do while on there. And I actually had people that reached out to me afterwards talking about that. And that means so much. And I know it's because of the fact that I came into your live and I got pumped up. So whenever you started saying you don't have anything to offer, anything to contribute to the helping out with issues that people may be having or whatever, you do. Each and every one of us, for one, we have talents. We have talents that we can help to contribute to make a difference in the world. And not only that, each one of us have a story to tell. Each one of us have been through things in our life and have made it through that. And these are things in which someone else may be struggling with. And we may have the knowledge and the experience because of our past experiences to be able to truly make an impact. And that's what it's all about. And one thing that I pointed out there, and I told you not only to not discredit your talents and what you do bring to the table, but also we got talking about how, it's so easy. It's so easy to talk about the negatives in life, to talk about the negatives negative things that people do, to talk about how people hurt us, about how people did something negative to us. But how often do most people take the time out to truly just reach out to someone, as in this situation, and say, man, I just wanted you to know that what you did, this little thing that you may think is nothing, what you did, man, it impacted me. It helped me. How often do we take time out to do that?
Exactly.
Martin, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like that's something that we need to work on whenever we're going about our lives? Just trying to let people know the impact they make?
I think that life is like water. We are all pebbles. We drop ourselves in the water. It makes a ripple effect. Now, obviously, some ripples don't go as far as others, depending on how hard you drop the pebble. And a lot of people don't like throwing the pebble in. So, you know, they're scared. And I think that, you know, picking up a random phone book, going through the phone book, just typing on, you know, tapping on one number, type that number in, yeah, dial it up, say hello to them, you know, say hi, how's your day? You know, it might not be much, but it could make a difference to them.
Exactly.
Music to me is a life. It's a lot of people suffer with mental health issues. There's a lot of people that are blind, deaf, autistic, and music it's a life to them.
Correct. It's a release.
Music is a soulful. Doesn't matter what type of music it is. It's a soulful platform for other people, due to whether it, you know, like somebody who is, you know, deaf doesn't listen to the music. They listen to the vibrations.
Correct.
You know, so they don't need to hear the music to understand what music is being played. The same as somebody being autistic, you know, that they don't, although they're autistic, they have a lot of powerful emotion because they understand music, they understand puzzles, they're very clever with puzzles, they're very clever with the music. You know, I watched a YouTube video of an autistic girl. She was blind and autistic, and it really this really teared me up, because this guy was in the street and he was playing a guitar, and the woman took the girl over, and the bloke literally like put his guitar to her, and she was strumming the strings, and she actually played, even though she played Stand By Me by Benny King, she played the chords of Benny King, Stand By Me, but she also sang her own type of song. But she knew what the lyric. She didn't know the lyrics, but she understood the greatness of the music because of the vibrations from the strings going through her fingers. And that to me, sorry,
No, you're fine.
that to me is something more powerful than words themselves, because it's a sensation for music. You know, everybody thinks that music's just techno, this, that, the other. It's bang, 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 bang. It isn't. Music is a lot more powerful than what people suggest. You know, whether it be singing, whether it be just an instrument, whether it be, you know, a DJing set like this, you know, music has a lot of power. So yeah, sorry, I got a little bit teared up there. Sorry.
You're perfectly fine, brother. Most definitely. You know, I know Tammy had wrote in there and says, you know, even making someone smile for a few minutes impacts how they feel in that moment, and that's so true. And it, like Martin says with the water, you know, it's a ripple effect too. You know, if we make it a point each and every day to at least do even one random act of love and kindness, that can not only impact the person who received that random act of kindness, but it can also help them to be in a better mindset, so to speak, so that they go out and also, you know, have that ripple effect where they do it to someone else, and then that person does it to someone else, and that person does it to someone else. And your one random act of loving kindness could end up reaching so many people and making an impact. And that's so valuable.
There's too many people that actually judge people out there. That there's a lot of people that don't have their self-confidence. So with me, I don't have a lot of self-confidence in myself. People always turn around to me and say, "You've got a lot of confidence," and I know deep down inside I don't. People have always judged me, before realizing on how deep this book is. So, never ever judge a book by its cover. Always open the book, because what you've got to realize is just because the book on the outside is torn and broke doesn't mean that the story has to be the same. The story completely tells a different. So it's a lot of stability there for people to understand. Never judge anybody until you actually get to know them.
Exactly. And just playing off of what you said there, everybody's story is different too, and we don't know what they've been through. Even and it's just like most of the time people can look at someone, and let's use the storybook as an example. Everybody has their own book. Everybody has their own story. And just like, don't judge the book by its cover, also, you wouldn't open up a book and start reading it from the middle of the book. And when we meet somebody, a lot of times we're seeing where they are now, or where they're portraying that they are now. Sometimes even we don't know the whole story. We have to get to know that person and really build a connection. And connection is where it's all at, because a lot of times people aren't going to open up to you without having that connection. And then you can, over time, you'll start seeing more of their story and be able to see where the chapter began, because you don't know someone's entire story. And a lot of times I'm going to use people who are very highly successful. We look at successful people sometimes and we think, well, they've always been successful, or they grew up in a rich family, or they had that. And a lot of times we don't realize that they had a lot of struggles, the same struggles that we had. And my growth over the years of being a more positive person, because like I've said many times, I used to be one of the most negative people you'd ever meet. And now people tell me, you're so positive all the time. How do you do it? And one of the things that I did was, I studied these successful people, and I truly got to know a little bit more about them, to know more about their story. And I looked at what the difference was. And one thing that I always seen was that they were so positive. You sit here and watch a business professional lose $2 million, and they're talking about how this is a great experience, because now they're getting to go back and show how they can be creative. They can start something new. They can, work their way back up, and it's an amazing experience. And I'm like, whoa, at this time in my life, when I first heard this, I'm like, whoa, how do you lose $2 million and you're like so positive? And there was a moment where I stood in front of a mirror, and it kind of got me thinking about my whole concept of the magic mirror and how everything is reflected back to you and stuff. And I use that because if we're thinking in that sense, and you're looking, if you're thinking that you have a magic mirror in front of you, which we all do, because the world is our magic mirror, and everything you put out into the world is reflected back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think of it that way, even whenever you start having those negative thoughts, those negative talks and stuff, if you can revert your mind to think of this magic mirror and know that, everything's reflected back to you, you don't want more negative in your life. So let's flip the switch and start being more positive. Over time, you build that good habit within yourself, and you do start attracting more positive people. You start attracting more positive opportunities and experiences, And it's just amazing how just being more positive in your life can make a huge difference. It can change your life forever, your relationships, your careers, your life in general. It's absolutely amazing. And in the same aspect, by us being positive and showing people the impact that they had in our life or something they did, it can in turn help them to see the impact they can have. They can see more the positive within themselves, because a lot of people struggle with that. I know for the longest time I struggled with it. I remember laying in bed at night in tears, feeling broken, feeling hopeless, because of the abuse and neglect and the bullying that I dealt with as a child. I battled depression. I struggled to believe in myself. And I remember laying in bed one night and just thinking back to a few years prior when I tried to end my life. And I woke after hearing a voice say, "I'm not done with you yet." And then me laying there that night and being like, "I'm waiting, God. I'm waiting to see what you can do in my life. What are you waiting for?" And just like that, it struck me like a bolt of lightning. All this time I've been waiting on him. What if he had been waiting on me? I had not taken action and did the steps that I could do. We have to do the 90% that we can and allow him to do the 10% that we can. And that's when I truly began my long journey. I'd actually opened up to the Bible, and Romans 12:2 stood out to me. And I know there may be some people who aren't, religious, but of course I know what it's done in my life. So of course I do talk about it some. But Romans 12:2 stood out to me. Do not conform to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And with that, man, it really opened my eyes, because the world's always shoving negativity down our throats. The world's always telling us that we're not good enough if we don't look a certain way, if we're a little bit different. But that's the furthest thing from the truth. And God says he will renew our minds. Do not conform to the ways of the world. And he's given us the tools to develop or to retrain our brains, so to speak. We just have to take action, and we have to do it. I'm going to pull up a couple comments here. As my teacher used to say, treat others how you would like to be treated. That is so true, Tammy. So true. It's really a shame to say that they need help or too afraid to ask for it. I know I was. And Sammy, that is true. There's so many people that struggle with just admitting that they need help. And a lot of times they hide that away. And I'm so glad that you came out and that, you started to tell them a little bit and allowing people to be there for you, because each one of us are so vitally important to this world. We may not see exactly what our purpose is at the moment, but we all have a purpose, and we're all worthy of living our most epic life.
It's like Richard Branson. He was dyslexic. He started off as a cleaner.
Yeah.
He is now one of the most, most millionaires, owning Virgin and everything like that. But he started off cleaning. He was a cleaner, and he looked and he made Virgin Cola. He made Virgin Airlines. He's now Virgin TV. Everything. One of the most successful businessmen, and he's dyslexic, and he started off as a cleaner. Anything can happen out there. You've just got to put your mind to it.
Exactly. I want to just take a moment here again to thank everybody who's live on Facebook, everybody who's live on YouTube, Star Maker, as well as Clubhouse. I do want to give an opportunity, if anybody that's on Clubhouse right now, if anybody would like to add anything in or has any words that kind of go along with what we've been talking about, I want to give you an opportunity to speak if you would like. Is there anybody who would like to say anything? You know, I know a lot of times we have we have people that just struggle with being negative, and it's so easy, like I said, because the world constantly shoves negativity down our throats. A lot of people around us are negative, and we have to do whatever we can to try to stay in a positive mindset, because it's amazing just the difference it can make in our lives, you know, just by doing that. Yes, Tammy, that is very true. Sometimes you do have to push yourself to achieve your goals. And Martin, I just kind of want to, again, I want to thank you. It's been incredible for you to come on here, and I'm so thankful that we, you know, have had some very deep conversations, all of us, and I truly believe that a lot of our conversations will truly spark some amazing things in the future for all of us.
Definitely.
So I really want to thank you, and I want to give you a chance here. Do you have, kind of, as we kind of wrap up, do you have any final thoughts, any words that you would like to say? By the way, if you can read this, Martin, there's a message here just for you. So
I can see what she's put. Love him so much. So my inspiration is basically, my last goal is to say to people, don't give up. Yeah. Do not give up on anything. There's always somebody out there that is willing to help. Yeah. No matter what it is, how it is, there is always help for somebody, you know, whether it be your best friend, a random. Yeah, like I said, pick up a phone book. Yeah, dial a number. Just pick a random number, dial it, phone them up, say, hi, how was your day? You know, all right, you might get a bit of abuse, you might not, but it makes a change to that person to just say, hang on, someone random's just phoned me up and said hi. You know, it's a random act. Just be there for somebody. You know, doesn't matter what it is.
Exactly. And when, you know, if someone decides to do that with the random call like that, just sometimes just letting them know that, you know, you felt like you needed to call them and just say that you're, you know, you are worthy, or you are loved, or whatever the case may be. You never know what they may be going through in that moment. They may need to hear somebody say that, even from a stranger. So that's excellent advice. Kind of before we wrap up, I'll give just kind of a closing thing here as well for myself. You know, sometimes we don't realize our gifts. We don't realize, we may not truly see our purpose. We may not see how the things in life that we do impact people. And not only because people are unfortunately quick to tell the negative, but fail to tell the positives and the impacts that people have had in their lives, which I urge everybody to do, but also because we don't always stretch ourselves. We become stagnant because we don't fully understand. We don't do anything because we don't know what we should be doing, our true purpose in life, which is revealed at the right moment, in my opinion. But a lot of times, because we don't know it right then and there, we become stagnant and we do nothing. We need to stretch ourselves continuously outside our comfort zone. We need to just, I'm not a huge Nike fan, but as Nike says, just do it. We're all capable of doing whatever it is that we want to do in life and whatever it is that we're destined to do in life. We just have to figure out what we want and just be willing to go for it. And, you know, God gives us unique talents and gifts, and we just have to be willing to develop them. And I see something here. I'm just going to just comments. Tammy says that we have made an impact on her today, just made her feel more positive. And Tammy, we're so glad to hear that. And that's what it's all about, you know, just one step at a time. So, and then Whitney says that I just wanted to share something real quick. Been having a rough couple of days. Always wanted to say thank you. You both have touched me, and apparently I needed to see this today because, again, it has touched me, and I thank you both. I needed the motivation today. Whitney, thank you so much for speaking up and letting us know that. You know, we appreciate that, and that's what it's all about. One person can make such a huge impact. One person can make a difference in someone's life. But when we truly come together, man, we can change the world. We really can. Sammy says, Tim spent hours talking to me the other night when he didn't have to, made a huge impact to how I'm feeling. Thank you, Sammy. And again, I just want to thank everyone. I see many people commenting saying thank you. We really appreciate each and every one of you on all platforms, and just want to say thank you again. You know, your support means more than anything. And just a lot of times, you know, people may see how the things that I'm doing may impact them, but y'all don't know. Y'all impact me as well. Every time, you know, just the other day when we was on that, I know I said I was finishing up, but I'm going to add one more thing. The other day when we was all talking in that group, you, me, Sammy, Vic, and I'm not sure if Tammy was in there on that.
Tammy was in there, yeah.
Whenever we was talking, and then at the end, Vic had said, you know, that he wanted to dedicate that song to me, Angels Among Us. Man, that blew me away, and it had me in tears. It really did, especially whenever I listened to it. But whenever you all even just hearing the impact, I don't need to thank you. I really don't. I appreciate it, but it's not necessary. I don't need to thank you, but just hearing sometimes the words of how it has impacted someone, how someone's life or even their day became just a little bit better because of something that I said or something I did. Man, it means so much, because that helps me to know that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I need to continue on, even in the days that I don't feel like it, because I have those days. Even in those days, I know that I have to continue on, because someone may need it in that moment. And we never know either our words, how they can affect someone. There's so many people dealing with hurt, and we don't know whether, you know, we don't know what they're going through, like I've said. So we can either be the reason for their pain, or we can be the change. And we have to be mindful of our words each and every day. Thank you, everybody who joined in for this episode of Epic Talk. We can all live our most epic life. Before I end, I want to tell one thing that I believe. I truly believe that if we can change our mindsets, we can truly change our lives. Y'all have a blessed day. See you next month.
That everyone has obstacles in which they must overcome in life. He believes that everyone needs someone in their corner. With God and massive ambition, Phelps knows that anyone can overcome the odds. So if you're looking to elevate yourself, Phelps can help.